and welcome, guys, to another interview special here with the Wolf and the Crows, guys. So,
you had Remy in,
I had Remy Shore in.
Body double for Greyworm.
Body double for Greyworm on Game of Thrones. A thoroughly nice chap. Fucking the interview was, it just fucking whoosh, just flowed. No problems at all. Didn't have to stop the camera.
What are you trying to say?
Well, half a Matt's interview. That might be something for the Patreon people. Whenever we get the Patreon done, you can.
A few bloopers and
the bloopers.
Bit of footage ended up on the cutting room floor.
A bit. Right. Well, you know what I mean. But mine and Remy, I mean, like, I watched it back and I could have swore that I was watching, fucking
Michael Parkinson.
Nah, Frost.
Okay.
Really, I was,
All right.
That's what I thought.
So you liking yourself to Frost?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I get in deep with the questions and find out results by pen, and that's what happened here with Remy. So,
Fair
guys,
enough.
check it out. Here is the interview with Mr. Remy Shore, fucking Greyworm's body double on Game of Thrones. Boosh! Valar Morghulis, the Northrend members, and guys, welcome to my interview with Mr. Remy Shore.
What's going on?
A very good friend of mine, guys. Greyworm's body double and stand-in on Game of Thrones and member of the Unsullied Army. So, Remy, how are you, man?
I'm good, bro. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it's good to see the boys again. Like, come in, chat some Game of Thrones. So I was like pretty stoked to come in, to be honest.
Nice one. Awesome. So here, how did we meet?
Yeah, so impossible to talk about this without. So, Mr. William Mahal, mutual connection.
William Mulhall, owner of the Direwolves. Picture up there.
Yeah, so known those G's since I was like 2 years old, and then fast forward like 18 of those 20 odd years, they met you in Battle of the Bastards, right?
They did.
Yeah, so they were constantly coming back, telling me all these stories about filming Bob, and I wasn't involved in Game of Thrones at the time, and they kept mentioning this mad bastard called Andy McClay. And so they had stories leading up to how you shouted King in the North and stuff, which I thought was the sickest thing ever at the time. And then come on to set and trying to think, how much of this can I discuss without getting your YouTube? Yeah, mate, it was sick because we just talked about all this geeky stuff, and I remember looking at you and I was like, it's someone I can bring the most outrageous bit of Game of Thrones trivia to, and you just bounced back with it. Like, I remember we saw the Flaming Arik for the first time on set, and we were like, fucking...
no. That's in the documentary. Also, guys, you can actually see Remy in Game of Thrones The Last Watch eating and Mr. Freezy Pop with Greyworm.
Yeah, that's right.
We were over in Seville, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Right, so the first question, we get this from Instagram, okay? So, I have to pronounce this name. Seppen van Bladel, okay, asks you, Remy, how did you start as an extra on Game of Thrones?
Right, so I was walking with the Mahals again, funny enough. These boys just keep coming up. We were in our glass golf course and we were just walking along at night time. My phone just went off. And I'd had an extras department profile for like 2 years. Nothing ever came off it at all. But I think because season 8, all the Unsullied and a lot of storylines were merging in the North, and they kind of like realised, shit, we're gonna need some dark skin to like mixed ethnicity and all that sort of stuff. And if you've ever been to Belfast, like, you'll see me and a few other people, but like there's not that many there's not too many like dark skinned people in Belfast, so the casting bracket just sort of went right the way down, which is sick.
Because most of the Unsullied scenes before would have been shot abroad because Daenerys was obviously mostly in Essos.
Yeah.
So they would have been away in foreign countries.
That's it, yeah.
So then when they brought the Unsullied to the north, which is basically Northern Ireland, you know what I mean? They had to trust on local lads and stuff like this here. So anybody dark skinned, they were obviously mad to get you on and stuff
and
like
thus,
that. Put you up front row.
Yeah, put me up. Yeah, it's like, okay, can you bring a 6 Unsullied down? And then they would see, like, you know, a couple of the guys from Belfast would come down, and then they were finding creative ways to be like, could we have Unsullied, please? They were like, yeah, Connor would be there, like, get Remy down here. yeah, you know. And that was how the Caramel Mamba was born, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, that was
okay.
McClay's Unsullied name for me.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah,
and here, how did it come about? How did you come about being Greyworm's stand-in?
Right, yeah, so that one was a pretty interesting one. So I was brought in with another guy called Dino one day, and we were basically filming some scenes, and they weren't sure if they actually needed us, and it was fairly early on into the season, but they brought 2 Unsullied in anyway, so we were quite lucky that it was us chosen. So we're in the studio, and it was Miguel's episode 5. This is where John rejects Daenerys' love for the final time before she goes fucking mental, basically. And they needed a Greyworm stand-in, didn't have anyone. And so I remember it was like Rich, Miguel's first, was walking by, and he literally was like... you know? And he was like, yeah, I think got something for you to do. So I went in and like started trying out standing in, and luckily, because I'm obsessive about anything behind the scenes, I kind of already knew the process a little bit, knew what blocking was, knew what a marker was, knew how to hit it, so they really didn't have to tell me anything whenever I went on. And then after about a few hours, Rich came up to me and he was like, what's your name again, man? I was like, Remy, and he was like, I think you got yourself a job, mate. And then progressively, my days as an extra started to scale down the more they needed me to stand in for Greyworm, which was fucking awesome, because then you got to watch some of the best in the world, like acting firsthand, literally like a fly.
Yeah, because like we had Madden last week, and what he was talking about is like, you know, you would have actually had to stand there while an actor gets you a line. Yeah, so which is crazy.
I have stories about that, like
looking directly at you. Like, who would you have done that? Who would you have done that with?
Did one with Kit. So whenever Jon Snow leaves King's Landing, he's on the Greyworm's on the ship. Yeah. Most of the time, I was in that scene, like. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I remember in my head it was like called action, and then in comes Kit walking down. He had his 2 Night's Watch boys with him. You one of them, Bobby Mono? I think Bobby Mono might have been one, maybe.
Oh, really?
On that day, I can't remember, because we weren't always familiar with each other back then.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Greyworm had Jacob got stepped off. He had to go get prepped for other setups, so I ended up just in there doing eyelining with Kit, which is fucking weird.
Which will lead us actually on to the next question. This is from Hello Jock on Instagram.
Hello Jock.
Hello Jock. Who did you get the most starstruck with?
Easy.
Go on.
Jamie Lannister.
Yes,
Not Matt Ackerfeld, fuck him. No, he's cool. But, you know, it's always tough being the Kingslayer's double, but he was easily the most starstruck of being, because he's my favourite character, man. Like, I'm just like, anything for Jamie in Game of Thrones, I'm mad for. Like, even in the books, once you started getting into Storm of Swords, and you're just seeing the way his worldview and stuff, I just loved it. So from then, pretty much, like, all Jamie, so... it was when he gets brought into Winterfell and trial. I was like, already it was in there. I was like, a fucking interior Winterfell. This is fucking awesome. Like, so I was starstruck at that. And then they were like, I heard that on the mic, they're like, yeah, that's Nikolai travelling to set.
No.
Yeah, you ever see the SpongeBob meme where he's like a caveman? Yeah. So I saw him walk on the set, 6'3", fucking beautiful, golden hand, and I was just like swooning like all the other bitches in there. It was fucking a thing of beauty, man. No. So that was proper starstruck, and then he had a little bit of a convo with me because I was in the right place, and this was early days. So.
That's it. Even like whenever I remember like working since season 4 and seeing Kit for the first time, right? So you're starstruck then, and like you know, then you get used to him. But then like you know. So by season 7 then, I remember seeing Ellie Hendrick, Mira, for the first time, and I'm like going, holy fuck, it's Mira. So it's just the first time you see them, you get starstruck, and you're like, oh fuck.
That's
and then you get used to them being on set and all that day.
People, man. That's it. Just people.
Nice one. Here, so... what is your favourite episode of Game of Thrones ever?
Right, so...
and that is from Levi Hinton on Instagram.
I like that one. but I think I'm probably the only person ever that's going to pick this one. I wouldn't say it's controversial, but more surprising.
Go on.
Bear in the Maiden Fair.
Okay.
So for me, the reason it's my favourite, because it's what I associate with Game of Thrones. You go on, it's in the middle of a storyline. You're not at the end of the storyline, not the start. All the gears are in motion. And it's pretty much focusing on Jaime's arc, sort of a short and condensed version of the hero's arc. Whereas a lot of people think Jaime had the hero's arc anyway. He didn't. He had the tragedy arc. Yeah. Which is why this episode was great. You got to see a hero arc within a tragedy arc, which in the end he jumps in after Brienne goes, saves her from the bear, and then you've got Locke there, and because in the earlier episodes Locke's got shit over Jaime and Jaime doesn't like that, and then this is the time where Jaime just gets it over on him. There's fuck all Locke can do, and then as he's walking, way they close the episode, he's about to walk past, and then he goes, sorry about the sapphires, and then he keeps going, and then it's not Reigns of Castamere plays. A Lannister always plays his debts. That plays, and then the credits come up, just sums the episode up. And ironically, I think it's one of the lower rated ones online, but subjective, isn't it? So
subjective, man. All things subjective.
But fucking love that one. Love that one. By miles.
You and I were both happy with the Kingslayer's ending, man.
Yeah, mate. No, I was fucking great. Like, it's kind of the thing. Like, side note, people always go on about the Hound. They're like, but realistically, everyone wanted to see Sansa bringing the Hound fucking soup out to a wee side hut outside the walls of Winterfell, and happily ever after. But eye for an eye storyline, like the Hound crashing out a window.
Oh, man. I thought Greyworm was fucking awesome.
Oh,
man.
mate. Too many people gloss over the fact.
Fucking brilliant, man.
He cut down 3 Kingsguard just
like that there. Do you know what I mean?
People are really
fucking awesome. Yeah. Like fucking slicing through them, man. Class. Hey, so Mark loves Sue on Instagram. Just wanted to say to you, Remy, she think that you fine. Okay, you fine, man.
You fine.
So there, Mark loves Sue. We have told Remy that he fine. So there you go. So next question, right? This comes from Jordan Jade 22.
Oh, like American,
someone who we know very well. Visited me, Utah, Salt Lake City at my booth. She has been over at Northern Ireland. She's been to the
Pug Uglies
viewing.
She threatened to castrate me, She threatened to castrate me there, probably slipped that wee detail, probably got past you. I've got picture evidence too, by the way. You're welcome, Jade.
she has a question for you, man, right?
Ooh,
so, she wants to know, right? So your acting CV / resume, Remy, says that one of the accents you can do is General American. Can you please ask him, A, what the fuck is General American? And could you please give an example of what one supposedly says?
Okay, right. So that could be just because she's trying to get one over on me here. So this is how you school someone who doesn't have a clue what they're talking about. So American generalized is very similar to RP, which means received pronunciation of English. So if an actor uses RP, i.e., Peter Dinklage is Tyrion Lannister, he's not portraying any particular English accent, he's just portraying his interpretation of an English accent.
Yes.
So if I say I can do General American, let's say I just go a bit more east side and I'm like, I'm here doing a podcast with McClay.
Jesus, it's like I'm watching an episode of Power. Jesus Christ. I'm watching an episode of Power.
Yeah, so it'd be like General East Coast. So that's kind of without being too selective. If you need to slip into a more broad accent category, then that's where you would do it. So,
and you are a tour guide for
GoT Direwolves.
GoT Direwolves, guys. Information coming up on the screen. You can also find information about that. So again, guys, I've said this before, there is only 2 tour companies that I recommend. That's GameOfThronesTours.com. I work for them. Equally as good as Remy's, the company that he works for, GoT Direwolves. And you can see that down in the thing. Only 2 companies that have extras as guides, and that is what makes the difference.
Makes a huge difference.
Big time. So, so she said as well that she says hi. And then she's sorry she missed you in Belfast. and that she hopes to see you next time.
Yeah, well, whenever you meet up with a different tour guide from GoT Direwolves for coffee instead, like, you know.
Ooh, why? Who did she meet up with?
I mean, I don't want to drop too many names. Like, begins with M, so there's only 2 possible.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Molly. Fuck, I need to sort. That's a seasonal change, man.
Final question, right?
Yes.
Remy, how has Game of Thrones changed your life, my man?
Oh, fuck, that's a long one. So I feel like I've got to set the scene first of all. So just before I met you, I just moved back from England.
Mm-hmm.
So life over there, I was studying, and it was kind of at a cross paths where I knew what I was studying, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't really a legitimate career plan. So it was like biology and animal behaviour.
Okay.
So I never wanted to work in a lab, and I'm interested in wildlife. I want to use it as part of my travels. I want to help in conservation and stuff. But ultimately, I always wanted to act. But one, I never really, to be honest, I didn't really have the balls earlier on when I was younger to just be like, yeah, fuck it, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And 2, I was like, in Ireland.
Yeah.
Nah, chances are pretty small. So I kind of opted for the next thing I was passionate about. So incidentally, from moving back from England, coming back to Ireland, didn't really know what I was going to be doing when I got back. And then I got that text message, which full circle we talked about at the start, from Dallin. And then that led to Game of Thrones, which led to me being an extra. And you know, when you're an extra, you just want to soak the whole thing up. I wanted to see the process. I wanted to learn. And like, I think that kind of was maybe noticed a little bit. So from going into Game of Thrones and then standing in and getting taken over to other countries to film the show and stuff like that.
Whoa. Can we talk about that? You got to go to Seville.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
So production took him to fucking Seville.
Yeah.
For season.
Yeah, so I'll insert this point and then finish my previous point of how it changed things. This is sort of relevant. So
go for it.
We got this text message about how they were taking us on holidays to Seville pretty much. So it was like pack your bags, Wolf Unit and all that. It was great. So there was a certain amount of doubles going. So there's me, Laura Butler, who is Sophie's double. Then we had Paul.
Is that the one that looks exactly like?
Yeah. Worst people to look like, and let's face it.
Yeah, she looks so much like
the joke.
Sophie.
The joke on set was Laura looks more like Sansa than Sophie does. It was impossible. So we had Laura, we had Paul, who is Tyrion standing hero. And then who else? Like we had Danuta, of course, and then we had Joel, and he was doubling for Bran, even though he was Jon Snow's double. I know, like it's because we were standing in mostly and a lot off camera. But there was a certain character, guys, you'll remember, died at the end of episode 5, so he didn't need to be at the Dragon Pit.
Oh yeah.
Jamie Lannister. So we had a group chat of all the doubles, so we're all excited, like typing in how we're all fucking going to Spain, how it's gonna be sick, pack your swimming shorts and all that. Fucking Real Madrid football team staying at the same time as us and all that. So it was so fucking cool. And then you had Matt being like, my character's dead. So he was left behind. So in the group chat all week, he just had to witness us being like, yeah, meet up at the hotel, then we're going to go for tapas and wine, then we're going to hit the jazz bar. What time's your pickup in the morning? Like, fucking, it was just insane.
Do you have a good time over there? You were well looked after?
Oh man, it was like
brilliant.
Literally one of the highlights of my life still to now, because you were filming your favourite TV show ever.
Yeah.
You were there with your mates at this point. We'd all been together filming for a year. And because it was a small crew of us that were out there was just like no barriers between departments or anything like that. Like the atmosphere was just great. Like there was a reasonable amount of free time, and sick rap party with where I got absolutely steaming with the Prince of Dawn. So yeah,
kick ass.
Bucket list things. So that's one way it's changed my life. But now, basically, summarise it. After all that going through Game of Thrones, at the end, they kind of opened doors to like Carla Strong, the local casting director, she's like amazing at what she does. So she started giving me auditions and stuff. So now I'm pretty much on the acting circuit, well on my way with that. So haven't looked back since. Like, got a great lifestyle, like love what I do, like anything to do with making stuff just has my attention. So long may it continue, just trying to keep the grind going, work hard, and like see where I can go with it.
So it's giving you fucking starting acting.
Yeah, that's it.
Northern Ireland, and you're going leaps and bounds and all this shit, man.
Mate, I'm just happy, man. You know.
There was one thing I just want to ask you before we leave. what was your military training?
Okay. For the Unsullied, geez, initially, so once they got the whole pool of extras, they got a core group of 150 to 200 guys to start off with.
Yeah.
Near Titanic Studio, there's a big old hangar in in the industrial docks. They would take us into that, and you had a Royal Marines ex-drill guy, can't remember exactly what he was, Jamie, and then you had Pat, a hardcore dude as well.
Yeah.
So these boys weren't just looking at this for training us for screen, they were just tarnishing us with the army brush pretty much to begin with. So even more so, my brother, they expected higher of him, kind of circled him as a leader because they had the experience, you know. So we were kind of there from 8 or 9 in the morning till 5 or 6 at night, middle of winter, for 2-week blocks, so Monday to Friday, all those hours. So week after week of that, and then we had a break, went into filming, did the march to Winterfell, and then all your training was carried over, so your marching, your drill, your shield positions, all that sort of stuff was carried on to set.
Yeah.
So all the wildlings would be there, they'd smoking cigarettes and stuff like that, chilling out, oh, well, brother, what's the crack here, you know, and then they'd be like, oh, where are you off now? And I'm like, I'm away to go, lying off, So we used to have to march to and from set in regiment, to dinner in regiment, back from dinner in regiment, and then, of course, I got a crew form, which meant I got to just march to and from everywhere in my own time, at my own leisure. So all the other Unsullied were sort of like that bastard, that fucking bastard with my big coat on, just like, so.
That's what happens when you look like Greyworm, man.
If I had my time over again, I'd bail on them all the same. Yeah, unbelievable, man.
Nice, man. Well, Remy, what I'd like, thanks for a terrific interview, man. What I'd like to present you now is this. An exclusive The Wolf and the Crow sticker. This is yours to take home. This is available, guys, on our Amazon shop. You can have this shit. You can order this shit. Okay, so I'm going to hand that to you, man. And that is for reals. Okay.
Get that in my fridge.
So,
it's going to look sick.
We're going to sign out. So if you can do what I always say, the North remembers. So whatever you want to Game of Thrones related.
Oh, Game of Thrones. See, because of the hair, I nearly give you any Bombay from Black Panther.
Yeah, because he's gone for the Killmonger look, as you can see there, guys.
Nah, mate. Other than not having an Unsullied banner in here, which we need to sort out.
Right.
Yeah, keep it cockless, keep it Unsullied. Yeah.
This is him now in relaxed mode because he's on the island of Nath with all his crew.
This is a get up now, so once we left, no more military drill, so it's all braided hair and bandanas, man.
Some sweet Chiba on the fucking island of Nath.
We're all dead from butterfly sickness. And if you don't know what that is, you're not a Game of Thrones fan.
Snap.
I'm out.
Boom. Hi, Remy.
Thanks very much,
Cheers
bro.
to have you on, man.
Hope to come in again, man.
The North remembers.
Peace.
So there you go, guys. Fucking interview with Remy Shore there. Fucking he really does look like Killmonger from Black Panther.
I can see it, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Big time, because when Will Mulhall from GoT Direwolves told me that he had his hair cut, it was Will's description. I was like, what the fuck has he done? What the fuck has he done?
It's not very Unsullied looking.
No, and then I seen him and I was all, fucking hell, it actually looks fucking really cool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm raging because I can't do anything like that because A, I'm not young, and B, fucking, I'm losing all my fucking hair. So there you go.
What was his bandana about?
They probably keep a hair out of his eyes. I don't fucking know. It's a style choice, man. You're probably just raging because he has one thing.
I used to have bandanas.
What?
I used to have bandanas.
Did you?
Yeah.
When you were young? You see this?
Younger.
This is
Younger.
Well, you see, this is the thing. Remy has youth on his side.
He does.
Whereas if you walked around with a bandana, all your wins would be all my dad's a dickhead. You know what I'm saying? So
fair enough,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know they would too, So, rock and roll.
So next interview coming up is Hammer. Hammer is going to be interviewing one of the costume girls.
Joe.
Fabulous Joe.
Joe working on the costume department of Game of Thrones for many a season. Joe would be like, I worked in the costume department as well, guys. Whenever I wasn't killing Lannisters, I was fucking cleaning their costumes, the bastards.
Joe looked after us all extremely well.
Yeah, excellent bedside manner when dealing with extras, which was amazing. Do you know what I mean? When you're cold and you know, it's like through the long night, like you're cold and you're tired and fucking, you know what I mean? And then up comes somebody to fix your costume. They have someone like Joe, but many of them were like that. But
Yeah.
they have somebody like Joe coming up and, you know,
Always smiling, yeah.
having a laugh and a joke with you as well. Like really made it. Like,
And this will be a good one for the cosplayers
yep,
as well, because she's obviously going to be covering off a lot of the details.
yeah.
So you might get some hints or tips.
He knows all about fucking stitching and the materials used, absolutely everything. Like I said, I work with Joe as well, and she was brilliant because, like, I work in the costume department, guys. I have no training as a fucking costume person. I was just brought in, and then the odd time they'd make me do stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that, no problem. And then I'd have a go, and I'd be all, I fucked it up. And like Joe would be one of the one, hey Joe, I fucked it up. And she can go, well, you haven't really, you just do that, and then that, and then that's that. And I'm going, oh, thanks Joe. And like, great for putting my mind at ease. Do you know what I mean? She was great to work with. I fucking love that girl. Brilliant.
Perfect.
Aye. So
that'll be coming up next week.
next week.
Later this week,
Yes.
we have our Game of Thrones Windows special.
Uh-huh.
So guys, keep tuned for that.
So guys, in Belfast, what we have is the Glass of Thrones. I like to call it a fucking external exhibit pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
all outside these stained glass windows, freestanding stained glass windows. 6 of them placed strategically around Belfast, leading from Belfast City Hall right the way down to Titanic Studios,
Yeah.
the home of Game of Thrones. So guys, these are fucking brilliant looking. The House Stark one's my favourite, obviously, because it has Jon Snow on it. He's my favourite character and shit.
There's no Night's Watch one.
What?
There's no Night's Watch window. Me and Hammer were disappointed about that.
No, well, like, my letter worked.
Did
The
it?
letter worked.
Did you
Do
petition that, did you?
Do not do a Night's Watch window. The bastards have had enough.
Me and Hammer might make our own 7th one and put it up. Maybe.
But,
We'll get one and keep it in here.
right?
A Night's Watch stained
Well,
glass window.
What? Okay. Right then. Well, that'll be good crack when
the
it ends
7th
up.
window.
That'll be good crack when it ends up in the river because it's made out of a fucking cereal box. But anyway, so what else?
What else? We've got our live stream back to Sundays this weekend.
Back to Sundays.
And we'll be announcing our new competition on that, guys. So make sure you tune in to find out what we're giving away and how you can go about winning that.
Hold on a minute. What was the prize? Come here. What was the prize? Oh, fuck, that's a good one too, man.
Aye.
Jesus.
So keep tuned. Sunday, we'll be
Sunday.
announcing that. Tune in
Uh-huh.
to find out how we're going to win.
Yeah. Prize, man. We got all those prizes fucking wanging away all over the fucking world.
So guys, make sure, again, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the wee bell beside it if you want to be notified of the new episodes, interviews, and live streams
That's
that are
it.
coming up.
That's what happened. My friend called me and he's all, man, I hit reminder and it came up, ding, new video from The Wolf and the Crows.
There you
And he
go.
watched it on the bus.
And we've got our Patreon now as well, guys. So make sure you check out our Patreon and different tiers on that for the extra special
Exclusive stuff.
exclusives, behind the scenes photos. We're going to have unedited videos going up there that you can access.
Jesus.
We'll have versions of all our episodes as an MP3, so you
Oh,
can
yeah.
download that, listen to it on your headphones on the way to work in the tube,
Yep.
sitting in the house.
You can now try and
doing the
decipher.
dishes.
You can now try and decipher our accents without visual aids. At least you could kind of lip read, kind of what we were trying to, you know. So
What else is on that? We're gonna have bloopers, some other sort of special options for you there that you can get special annual gifts, and depending on the on the pledge, you may also be able to feature in upcoming episodes.
Oh,
But
fuck.
guys, you can check all that out on the Patreon. All the details will be down below in the description section, along with all the usual links for our social media, our Facebook, our Twitter, our merch shop as well, guys. If you want to buy any of the Wolf and the Crows merchandise, make sure to check them out. Give them a wee click.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep. So, fucking... I would just like the funniest by saying I thoroughly enjoyed that interview with Remy.
It was yeah. It was
Because, like, you know, the man loves Game of Thrones. He loved being on Game of Thrones. So, like, you know, it's just another version of me. Just another version of myself.
Yeah.
And that's then...
He's younger.
whenever-
He's younger and better looking, like.
But younger, yeah. But I wouldn't say better.
You're not going to
looking.
give him better looking, no.
No, he's good looking, but in a different way.
All right. Okay. All right.
See what I did there? No.
Yes.
I think that's it then from
That's
this
it.
interview.
Yes.
Special again,
And
guys.
of course, Hammer is back from his ranging duties this weekend, so he will
Aye.
be joining us in our live stream on Sunday.
Yeah.
So,
you
Hammer's
might
back at it.
You might notice that when Hammer comes back, he'll have been in Spain, but yet he arrives back with no tan. Why? Because he's Irish as fuck, and we don't tan, guys. Okay, so he has been away on holiday.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right time.
So, guys, for the watch.
They're not remembered.